guys, welcome back to Hike Oregon. In today's video, I'm going to make sure that you are ready for winter hiking. If you are new here, welcome to the Hike Oregon channel. I make hiking and backpacking vlogs as well as gear reviews and just general tips and tricks videos to help you become a more confident hiker and backpacker. If you enjoy content like that, click that red subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are notified every time I make a new video. And if you want more content from me, you can always support me over on Patreon, where for as little as just $1, you get extra content each month. Winter hiking is really incredible, but it's also where small mistakes can become really big emergencies. Are you prepared to stay warm if you stop moving for a long period of time? Are you prepared to navigate if your phone dies in cold temperatures? By the end of this video, you will know if you are ready for winter hiking, and if you're not, you'll know all about the things you need to prepare for. All right, the planning part of any winter hike is probably the most important. You're going to want to check the weather. If you're going somewhere where there's avalanche danger, you're going to check avalanche danger. You're going to check the road conditions. You're going to check the snow levels. You're going to check it all before you go. Also, keep in mind, in the winter, there are shorter daylight hours. So just know that if in the past, like in the summer or fall, you've been able to do like a 10, 12 mile hike, you might not be able to do that same kind of mileage during the winter time. You're always going to want to leave your trip plan with someone who is not going with you so that if you do not come back, someone is on it fast. And then always have a bailout plan and discuss that with your hiking partners. You know, if someone's feet are really starting to get really wet and cold, maybe don't complete the hike. Maybe turn around a little sooner. Or if someone didn't pack the right layers, they're really cold, maybe turn around sooner. In the winter, it's really crucial to do those kinds of things before it's too late. Next, we're going to talk about clothing and layering. So you're going to want to have a base layer, which is moisture wicking, no cotton, preferably wool or something like that. Then you're going to want to have a mid layer, like an insulation, a fleece, or a really lightweight puffy. Then you're going to have your outer layer, which is a, waterproof or windproof shell type of thing. Oh my God. Hi, honey. And then always bring an extra, like one of these or something, like a long sleeve wool, especially if you're hiking like to the top of something like I am here right now. I was sweating like the whole way up, even though it's in the 30s, I was sweating. My layer right now is pretty wet. So if you carry an extra something like this, I can change at the top and be nice and dry when I'm heading down when it's cooler. You don't want to over sweat in clothing because, like I said, it makes the clothing wet. In the summer, it's great. It cools you down really fast, but it's not good in the winter and can lead to hypothermia. It's very important to adjust your layers before you get super sweaty. Like I said, I was sweating basically the whole 4 miles up to the top here, which is not ideal. And you're gonna want to keep your extremities from getting too cold. So gloves. I have little gloves, and then if those get wet, I do have backup gloves. A warm hat, a neck gaiter, or a buff. I'm wearing wool socks, so wear wool socks, but having an extra pair is really good and appropriate, snow boots or hiking boots or something like that. So next we're going to talk about winter traction devices like micro spikes, crampons, and snowshoes. You would use micro spikes in conditions where it might be a snowy trail, but it's very tamped down and has gotten icy. Crampons would be for a little bit more extreme of conditions, more like mountaineering scenario, glaciers, very steep terrain, that kind of thing. And of course, snowshoes are used for hiking on the snow, which is a great way to get out in the winter time. Even if you don't take trekking poles during other seasons, it's generally a good idea to take trekking poles when hiking in the winter, just because it can really help with things like icy conditions. It can help you from slipping and falling. But keep in mind that if you are taking trekking poles when you are snowshoeing, to put the snow baskets on your trekking poles. Otherwise, they will go deep down into the snow and they are absolutely useless. Next up, electronics and navigation. Always, always, always carry a paper map and a compass and know how to use them. The cold drains batteries really fast, so it is important to carry a power bank with you as well. Make sure to keep your phone in an inner jacket pocket. That will help it retain battery longer. And obviously, if your phone dies, then you need the paper map and compass. So make sure you know how to use those. And then everyone knows about the 10 essentials. If you don't, I have made a full video on what these are, but the seasonal twist to add to your 10 essentials would be a fire starting kit. That includes some sort of fire starter because it's generally wet outside in the winter, therefore can be hard to make a fire. Having a fire starting kit is absolutely essential for the winter time, because if you run into an emergency and you have to be out there for longer than intended, you're gonna want a fire. And then to go along with that is food and hydration, which is super critical in the cold weather. Your body does burn more calories trying to stay warm, so make sure you bring easy to eat snacks that won't freeze solid. I know there's a lot of bars that when they get cold, they're tooth breaking. Hot drinks in a thermos is always really nice. That will kind of keep you warm from the inside. And then keeping your water from freezing, which I actually just made a whole video on that. Go check that out. I'll link it below. Take extra snacks. So take high calorie snacks and lots of extra snacks. Like I said, if you are out there in an emergency situation, you have to be out there longer than intended, you're gonna want those high calorie snacks, and that will help you stay warm as well. Emergency and safety gear for winter: satellite communicator, personal locator beacon. That's kind of always a given in my book during any season. A whistle and a signal mirror, that's always a given in my backpack also. And then for some of you that go really backcountry, like if you're going backcountry skiing or snowshoeing way far in there to go camping or something, make sure to have avalanche gear, a probe, a beacon, shovel. All of that kind of stuff is super important. So here is a quick run through of a yes/no like checklist to make sure that you are ready for your winter hike. Is the weather checked? Do you have your traction packed? Do you have extra layers? Navigation backup? Do you have that headlamp for the shorter daylight hours? Emergency shelter, whether that be a bivvy or a way to make a shelter? Food, water, and then does someone know your plan? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you don't already, go ahead and follow me over on Instagram. That's where I post all of my recent hiking and backpacking adventure pictures. And if you want to hike and backpack here in this amazing state of Oregon, check out my website, hikeoregon.net. You'll find tons of info there, and this time of year, we're getting ready for snowshoeing. I have a lot of posts on snow parks and snowshoe treks here in Oregon. On the website is also where you'll be able to purchase all of the hiking guidebooks that I've written over the years. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next adventure.